Just ignore that. My wife bought me a bunch of stuff and I'm sorting through it. She's feeding my addiction. Thanks, honey. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. We have a brand new comedy, and let me tell you, every time there's a new comedy, I get so excited because I'm always looking for the next great thing to make me laugh. So is Vacation Friends that movie? It's on Hulu right now. This is a spoiler-free review, and let's get into it. So, a couple meets up with another couple while on vacation in Mexico, but their friendship takes an awkward turn when they get back home. And I actually didn't read that premise going in. I didn't really know where this movie was going, so I assumed as the first 20 to 30 minutes progressed that we would spend the entire movie on vacation. And while there are so many crazy things and moments and encounters that happen on that vacation, part of me was hoping it wouldn't last the entire movie because I don't know how, or at the time, I didn't know how they were going to keep this up, if that makes sense, because there's too much time to fill and too many crazy things to engage in if you're doing a full 2-hour movie of that. So thankfully, the movie kind of takes a breath and the audience takes a breath. Because of that, we get back home and this couple, our main couple, really the focus of the entire film, Marcus and Emily, if you watched Free Guy recently, you just saw Lil Rel. He's back once again. His comedic timing is fantastic. And I liked the on-screen presence and the relationship of that couple, but they get back home and they are once again found by their wild and crazy vacation friends that they wanted to just keep as vacation friends. And they even said in the film, they said, there is no way we could take these two people back to our everyday lives. And Meredith Hagner, John Cena, they play Ron and Kyla. Ron and Kyla are as eccentric and wild and extremely overwhelming as you expect vacation friends to be. And we've all had similar, well, not experiences like this, but similar situations where we'll meet somebody at summer camp or on vacation or wherever you go on a trip, and, you know, you make friends with them, but it's not really a situation you want to take back into everyday life. And I like that concept. It's interesting and the perfect two people to play this crazy eccentric couple. I mean, their comedic timing, and that's one of my issues. We'll get into it here in just a second. Their comedic timing is absolutely incredible. John Cena has his hair all crazy, and you can tell that they're just doing everything that they can get their hands on. And all the situations that they find themselves in with their other couple that's a lot more reserved and hesitant about doing what they're doing, it's funny because that timing is there, and you have the straight man's Marcus, you have the wild and crazy man's John Cena. Marcus is afraid to do this, afraid to do that, but he starts to open up, they make friends, but then we get back into the normality of it all. And while there is a big chunk of that aspect of the movie that I found to be not as engaging, I like that the movie kind of kept me on my toes, and I wasn't seeing everything coming, even though not every scene was full of top-notch filmmaking. There are a couple of moments where I said, I think the filmmaking could have been better there. There's one moment in particular, they try to play it for humor. It's when something falls down into a sewer, just to be general about it, but it didn't quite work for me, and those elements are spread all throughout the film. But for the most part, that works. It also works because they're coming back, there's this big wedding planned, and you have her father that has a bad relationship with Lil Rel's character. But John Cena's character comes in and says, you know what? I'm going to mess this whole thing up, and we're going to play that for comedy. And for the most part, it's going to be full of some chuckles and giggles, and that's where I kind of land on this movie. If you were to ask me right now, Austin, is this a huge recommendation from you? I would say, no, not really. But if you're in the mood for something that's just silly, you can keep on in the background, and there's a lot of charisma from the actors and actresses in here, then I would say, yeah, watch Vacation Friends. It's easy. It's on Hulu. The movie's okay. And that's kind of where I'm at, because there are moments and scenes throughout the film where the humor doesn't land. They'll play for a joke. The joke will fall flat, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting on the next thing to happen. There are entire scenes where they will do something so crazy, so over the top. John Cena and Meredith Hagner, they will bust into this situation, and every now and then it will work, but then other points, it's just like, okay, It's really unfortunate when comedies do that, when they're so up and down. And what's the number one rule of a comedy? Well, that is to make you laugh. It could be just a horribly edited and put together movie, but the goal of a comedy is different from the goal of a different genre of film. That is to make you laugh first and foremost. And even though, like I said, all of the humor doesn't work, I would say it's probably 55-45, maybe 60-40. And that 60%, those are the funny moments, and the 40%, not necessarily. So that's kind of where I land on the humor here. Before I give you guys my score, I want to say thanks so much for watching. Let me know, would you like me to review more streaming-specific films? Vacation Friends features enough laughs to keep viewers engaged, and while the story doesn't entirely land, the chemistry between the cast does. I'm going a 60% with my score. It's a comedy on Hulu. It is absolutely okay. Not going to go any further than that, but I want to know, did this movie make you laugh? Was it so over the top and ridiculous that you had a bit of fun with it? And that's kind of where I land, especially those moments with John Cena just being as crazy as you expect. So thank you again for watching. Appreciate it big time. Come back for more videos this weekend, and I'll see you soon.